day or two to evaluate the first 4 games. How are you approaching this open date week?
Well, I mean, looking at things that we have to do better. What you want to evaluate is where the issues are, why they're issues, and how do we go about fixing them. Is it mental errors? Is it bad calls? Is it physical errors? Is it we're asking guys to do things they can't do? Are we taking advantage of guys' things they can do enough? Just evaluating all of some of those things for the players, as a coaching-wise and what we're looking to move forward with. And then for the players, I mean, I'm with them just mentally of, hey, go enjoy winning. I mean, enjoy football. I think I think these guys got to put a lot of pressure on themselves, and when you do that, winning's not fun. Sometimes, I mean, when winning becomes more of a relief than fun. Boy, it's rough duty.
What are some things you think your team has done well through the first 4 games?
Well, we do a lot of things well sometimes. I mean, I look at the last game. I mean, right? I mean, is this crazy? They had 14 possessions in the game, right? I don't count like take a knee. 9 of their 14 possessions, they had a grand total of 9 yards in 9 possessions. They had 5 possessions for 382 yards and 5 touchdowns. So what did we do well defensively? Those 9 possessions, that's probably one of the best defenses in America. 5 for 382, 5 touchdowns, one of the worst defenses in America. So you watch us at times, and that's what it is making sure for us, why is it great here and not as good here? And there's multiple reasons for it. And how do we get our players to just react and play that way? React and play it the right way all the time and play in a dominating fashion all the time. So there's lots of things they do well. And we got to make sure that they do well all the time.
When you say trying to teach them or let them know that winning is more fun than just really, have you had to teach that before in the past to teams, or is that kind of something new with this team?
I guess I've probably been on teams where it really wasn't fun. Where if you ever lost even one game, it was like the end of the world. I remember when I first got here, I was telling them, I told some of the guys a story on the team. I think we beat Kentucky. We were like 3-5, I think it was. We went up to Kentucky on a road game and won. I mean, and the locker room after the game was wild. Right? And guys are dancing and singing. I saw guys. So if we're 3-5 going to Kentucky and we get a win, right there, I'm like, I said, no, I should walk in the locker room. Like, oh my God, no, we'd be 3-5. It'd be awful. It'd be the worst thing in the world. You're right. We were 3-5 then, and it was like, they were spraying water and dancing, and just the mindset of the guys. And I guess it's a product of what we've done here, which is win a lot. And, but you have a lot of young guys on the team. So they just feel the pressure without really experiencing the joy. Where, some of the older guys who've had the last couple of years, even though they had expectations to win, they still enjoyed it. But the younger guys just had the expectations to win, they didn't know how to enjoy it. I walked in the locker room after the game on Saturday, and the first thing I tell them, can we smile? Can we just smile and laugh and cheer and have fun? And, we won a game, man. We should be celebrating. And, and they were like, honestly, there were some guys like, okay, all right, so we can smile now. And, they got enough pressures on them. Enjoy playing football and enjoy winning football.
What's this week about for you guys? You just kind of...
Well, it's cleaning things up right now. That one, getting some guys some rest and a little bit healthy. We've been going for a while through training camp, right into the season. Getting some guys that have gotten a lot of reps, a little bit of rest, cleaning some things up. Getting some guys that we need to play that maybe haven't got as many reps, some more practice reps to get them caught up in rep-wise, so they're ready to progress at this point of the season. And to get our guys a fresh mind, I'm going to try to, as long as as long as they get a really positive academic report, I'm going to give them some time off this weekend, you know, to kind of recharge their battery, and because we got a tough 8 weeks ahead of us after that.
You mentioned before, I think last week, we were talking about Sid and Coleman maybe getting back to Auburn. Is that still kind of?
Yeah, I think we did. You know, talking to the trainers today, said practice today, and so you know, a little bit. So we expect both of them back.
So they practice this week.
Will's doing a little bit, said a little bit more right now, but we expect both of them back on Monday.
When you get guys like Will back, how does that change the dynamics, the trickle down effect of that?
Well, I mean, you got a guy that was the starter back. So I mean, it's I guess the trickle up effect, which is, you know, raises the guy not playing becomes a 1, the 1 gets to become a 2, the 2 becomes a 3, and all of a sudden we got more depth, we got more juice on the field, we guys can play a couple less reps, you know, and we're deeper, and you know, not just a Viper, especially a corner. I mean, that's a huge deal for us, you know, a corner.
Is it easier with
Fumble?
When we covered it though. So.
when you have seniors like that compared to younger guys? Do you not worry about the rust because they know the system?
No, there's still going to be some. You know, that's what I want to get him. I mean, for him, it's good to get a couple reps this week. I don't see him ready to be a 60, 70 play deal against Auburn. But I mean, that's 30 plays of a guy that was a starter that backups were having to play before.
With news that Scott's going to go to Florida and things, what's he meant to you in your tenure here?
Scott's done a great job, you know, in helping. If you look at, you know, I mean, I'm not surprised if people would really want to try to come after him. You look at what he's done here. You know, you got a baseball team going to, you know, Omaha. You got women's basketball in the Sweet 16. You know, I mean, you got a brand new football facility, stadium expansions, unbelievable facilities, massive growth throughout the athletic department. Heck, we've won more games than Florida has the last 6 years. So I know they probably want him. You know, I mean, I'm surprised people are trying to come after him. And you know, so but he's been always great with me, very professional, great to work with, and you know, and it's awesome because Scott and I had a great professional relationship.
What's it like as a coach to see someone like Les Miles, you know, fired early on the season?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I really am not. You know, me personally, I don't know that's good for anybody. I just don't. I just haven't taken over some situations as an assistant and a head coach. I mean, you got guys that there's a lot of questions that are on your, you know, just the guys that are going out on Saturday. You know, I mean, is it that big a deal to do it right now? I don't know. I think Les done a great job. I got a lot of respect for Les. I like Les a lot. I got, you know, I guess I think I had a really good relationship with Les, even though we're competitors. Not like, I mean, well, share secrets very much, but I you know, Les has always been great to me, and I got a lot of respect for him. You know, and I just think I don't know that it's good for anybody at this time of year to be doing it. I mean, if you know it's not going to be a future. I mean, even for the guys on the team, you know, I mean, you can wait till mid-November. And, you know, I don't see him hiring a head coach this week or next week. You know, I mean, I know Ed's there and going to do a good job. I know Ed. I got a lot of respect for Ed, and he's obviously done a good job in the past with that stuff. But just as an entire program and organization, I don't know that it's healthy for the organization.
Do you think Les will be coaching next fall?
I don't know. I saw an article already. I go to events, and like you said, he doesn't golf. I've never seen him out there golfing, right? I don't fish. I've never seen him fishing either, right? Didn't he say he shoots things a lot?
Yeah.
But not to kill.
Just
yeah,
not
he said
animals.
they like pointing at animals.
That's good. He said, no, I can be a little careful around that. It wouldn't surprise me. You know what I mean? He's done an excellent job. You look at the success that he's had on the field, and consistent success. You know, I think honestly part of it's a little bit of a sign of the times. You know, I don't know that we're going to see it. When Coach Beamer stepped down after last season, I don't know if we're going to see many more like that. You know, I don't. You know, I mean, I guess Bob's getting up there at Oklahoma. Bob Stoops is getting up there at Oklahoma. But I'm the second most tenured coach in the SEC now. You know, and Yeah, honestly, I don't know if you look back in history, how many times the second most tenured SEC coach is in his 8th year. If you look back at league history, so I just don't know. I mean, Les won 10 games a year, right? Done a heck of a job, and so it's a shame to see this stuff happen.
After LSU, you talked about Ashton Shumpert just giving effort, regardless
Yeah.
if it's practice, play, whatever it is. Where do you think that effort and that drive kind of comes from for him?
I think that it's just who he is, and he's a veteran player, and so he knows how to go hard. You know, we're doing rep counts today of how many reps he's up there on the team in total number of plays played. You know, and you're like, boy, you wouldn't think that. You know, I think he's 210 snaps through the first 4 games. That's a lot of reps. Because of how many special teams things and other things that he does for the team. So I think he's just got a great personal drive on top of being a senior in the program and really knowing how to push himself. A lot of things young guys still struggle with sometimes is how to push themselves as hard as they go, and Shump's learned that throughout his career.
What was it like sitting in the stadiums Sunday night watching Dak play?
You know what? It was cool. It was really kind of cool. Different, you know. I was much more relaxed than if I was on the field, but still had a little bit tense because watching Dak, wanted him to do really well. I think it helped that McPhee didn't play, so it was much easier to, because sometimes I watch games and I'm like, all right, I'm going to root for this offense and I'm going to root for that. I'm going to root for both offenses to do well today. But to be able to go, be there, it was great to get to see him. Got to see him real quick before the game. He came up and talked to me, but I didn't want to get away from me, get through the routine. You know what I mean? I always like people running up to talk to me before the game, so get away from me. But to get to see him after the game and give him a big hug and how proud I am of him, how proud of him I am. It was cool. I got to sit and enjoy a football game and try not to coach too much. Try to just enjoy it,
With your schedule, when's the last time you've been to an NFL game? Attending as a fan, I guess.
I haven't been to many in my life. I went to a Saints game, I think 2 years ago, after our season, like right before Christmas. Like we were done off the road recruiting, done pro prep before we went to a bowl site. I went to a Saints game. I went to a Saints game to see Alex Smith play that we had to buy. Something worked out I could go, and it was the game that he was supposed to come back and they played Kaepernick. So, they played 49ers. So I haven't been a 49ers fan since that day.
So not often.
I went to like a Jets or a Giants game when I was at GA one time, I think, in New York when I was right out of college. We had like a bye weekend, and I did that. And someone got tickets for us to sit, and I sat about the top seat. I actually was there to see about 3 rows down from the top of the stadium back then. Starting off coaching. I'll be honest with you, I think that's it in my whole life of even going to NFL games. I think there's one more. I'm missing it, but I know maybe there isn't. Right. I've been to 4 NFL games in my life. But I tell you that stadium's awesome. It was really, it was kind of cool to be kind of a fan. It was different.
Being a fan now, you think there's any chance?
Games, TV timeouts take forever. They feel like on the sidelines sometimes, not all the times, because sometimes feels like they're taking forever too, especially when we get some momentum and we're rolling, But when you're sitting out there, like, come on, man, let's get going.
You get to be a fan now. Do you think Dak has any shot of just keeping that starter's job, or when Tony comes back and sees us, here we are asking you?
No, I would imagine. I got no idea. I do know this, knowing Dak, is he's going to do whatever they feel is best for the team to win. He's going to be all in 100% to do that. Just knowing him and do whatever he needs to do to help the team win, knowing him that way. So I don't know. Those are tough decisions for Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett right there. They make a lot of money. Make those. I have my own problems and my own decisions I got to make. So they have those deals.
getting back to your team, third down, I think you guys have struggled this year. What is there? Have you seen anything why? Or
Yeah, a couple different things. It's not one thing. I've had a couple of drops. A couple of protection breakdowns, and then a couple of probably got to put us in better route combinations. Either, and when I say I should say just drops. Drop, miss, throw. We got a guy, we missed the throw, we dropped the throw, one of those. Just poor execution within the throw-catch game. A couple of missed protections here and there. A couple things schematically I think we got to look at, make sure we've got the right guys in the right positions to do things for us. That way, and that I'm making the right calls and at the right times, and how people are, how people adjust, because, you look at what they've done in the past, but then you got to know how they're going to play you, and so how people view you, do you have the right calls made?
when you look at Donald and Fred, they've kind of emerged as that 1-2. How's the development for that number 3 guy coming?
It's coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, we kind of knew that coming into the season. You coming into the season, when you lose, Fred and Duranya and, and even Gus Wally that you expect to be skilled players out there on the field, all of a sudden, again, it's that, go back to this one's the trickle-down effect where now you're trying to get guys up ready to be go-to guys. But I think the young guys, you're seeing some young guys improve. You're seeing, I thought Malik did some nice things in the game. I think Dedrick Thomas has done some nice things in the game. When you watch cut-ups, Jamal Couches, as young guys, it's just got to be a consistent deal. And, whether it's us making sure we're putting them in good situations to be successful, as they continue to grow and be consistent, to be every down, to be like the number 3 guy where it's not, hey, you're the 3rd guy for these couple of plays, you're the guy, and we got to get them developed that way.
Late in the ball game, Nick Fitzgerald was kind of helping guys up and kind of stepping in between potential altercations, kind of being a leader out there. Late in the ball game, are you seeing that in all aspects of his game right now?
Well, he's working on it. He's working on it. The tough thing in the quarterback position, you had a guy at the quarterback position the last couple of years that basically did all the leadership. And so nobody had to do any, unfortunately. And, when you have someone that just does it all and it does it as well as he does it, it's hard to learn and do that. And so I think he's learning, and you got to be a leader in your own way. No one's going to be Dak as a leader on the field because Dak's Dak, and that's who he is. So I think Fitz is kind of learning how to do that stuff and do it where he's comfortable in doing it and how the best way he can do it, because if it's not that way, then it's kind of fake. And, and that's not fake leadership in good